Welcome back to the channel. Jack with Grind Chronicles here with another First Impressions video, and today I'll be talking about Merv from Osprey Games. And I didn't know anything about this game originally. We just happened to see it on our friend's counter, and the art, tool is what really drew us in, and the look of the board and everything. And so we just thought we'd give it a shot. So we played it twice. The components were really nice, really high quality, all the tiles and everything and cards. And I won't have that shown here, but I do have a what's in the box video, and I'll link that below if you're interested in checking out that aspect. And I do kind of talk a little bit about playing the game there as well as I'm showing everything. That's just what I do. I just got a habit of it. So yeah, but you can check that out. In the game, you're basically trying to amass wealth and prosperity and such by doing a handful of various tasks, collecting spice, fulfilling contracts, gaining favor, donating to the mosque, and so on and so forth. There's quite a few handful of paths for actions and getting victory points. So that does bring, I feel like there's a lot going on in this game. I'll probably show, maybe I can swap here real quick, and because this gives a little look at the board here, and there's just so much stuff that you can do. It's I consider worker placement, even though I guess they don't really, I don't think it's listed as that, because you're going to be on this track around, these are the rounds, so there's 4 rounds, and you'll be placing them, your piece down, and you'll be taking an action somewhere along that column or row, depending on what round you're on, and that essentially blocks off anybody else from being able to go there and stuff. So I guess I consider it that. Set collecting will deal with the spices, and then the contracts for various bonuses. You got library. There's just so many actions that you can take. So while the game, I guess I feel it's kind of in the lines of like the West Kingdom, where they're not specifically difficult, but there's so many choices and things that you can do that it triggers my analysis paralysis. So yeah, if you are prone to have that issue, this will make that come out, I feel. And so I'm pretty hypersensitive to smallest of decisions can make me have analysis paralysis. So this one's a little bit much, but so there's just so many different tracks. You got the moss track, and they all give you different bonuses. Same with the spices, and eventually these will be stuff that you can get at the end that score you points, and mini bonuses as you get pairs and everything. And so, but it's difficult in the terms of there's just so many things that you can do that you will just, and there's some stuff to keep track of that you have to remember, a lot of different little rules. I know when we played, you put out soldiers, and we forgot that if you put it on yours, a location where you have a building, you get an influence point, but if it's on an opponent's building, you get 2, kind of like how the walls work. And that was something the first time around we had kind of forgotten. We were able to backtrack it and stuff, but yeah, there's just all these little things that you kind of have to remember. But so again, set collecting and the contract fulfilling, and then you got all these different tracks to run up on. And and the theme of the game, I thought it was really good. I think out of most of the games recently that I've been reviewing, I guess I'll be doing Outer Rim, and I think that was fairly thematic. But you're going to the market, buying, you're getting spices, you're fulfilling contracts, you're going to the library, you're learning, you're getting outbreaks for special ability. There's all these things that kind of encompass what it was in the city and revolved around the city and everything at this time. And then at the end of the second and third years or whatever, I think that's what it was. Each round is 4. There's 4 rounds per year. There's 3 years. The second and third round year, you'll have Mongols attack. So you want to be building walls to protect your buildings in the inner city. And if you don't, you'll lose those pieces. And so it just thematically, I like it a lot. I thought it worked really well with what they were trying to get across. And so I thought the theme was really really good. Again, like I said, compared to some of the other games where it's just kind of pasted on. You've got like these things you're doing, but they don't really seem to like accurately give the feeling that you're doing it. So this one, you're building up the city, you're doing all these things, and you got to protect the city. And yeah, I like that a lot. So I thought the theme was strong in this game, and it took us about time wise. It says it's like 90 minutes. It took us probably 2.5, 3 hours when we were first learning it. And then maybe 2 hours, I want to say, after that, the second time. But a lot of that's probably because of me, because my analysis paralysis. So, yeah. And there is a solo play, I think, but I have not yet partaken in that. 1 to 4. And then the player interaction, the biggest part of that, I feel, is kind of just blocking people out. Like I said, you'll go around the track for each of the rounds in a year and basically block people from being able to take whatever those actions are. So you'll have all these different buildings in here that will trigger the different actions that you can take. And and like you can buy some spices or fill contracts before people do. And so the interactions does not really take that, but there's a lot of kind of blocking people from doing things, especially right here in the favor track. And this is a main hub, I feel, where this is how you're going to determine scoring points. So it's fairly important. So if you fill in your meeples there and everything, and you can kind of block people potentially, but there's enough spaces where we haven't played with 4 players, so maybe that become more of a factor. But otherwise, yeah, player interaction is pretty low beyond blocking, and then replayability I think is really high. So while all these are pretty stagnant, the spices that come out will be random. The contracts are set, but the entire middle board is randomized. So all these tiles will have all the different actions that you take, and when you put your building there and whatnot, you get to take that action. And then, like I said, as you go around, you'll be putting more buildings on there. And one of the game mechanics is kind of like when you do an action on a location, you get to do all the actions that row or column of the tiles that a player, whether it's yours or another player of that same color of that tile you picked. So as you go, you'll be doing more and more. You'll gain more resources. That's how you get your resources and everything. And I really like that. And it really makes you want to, because you might not care if you lose stuff, because when you have the second and third year, the Mongols attack, and if anything's not protected by walls, or soldiers, then you'll lose it. Though you can bribe, I guess, the Mongols with a piece of resource that's generated from that tile if you happen to have it. But because you get points at the end of each round. Each year is like a scoring phase. So you get a point for each like tile you have control of with a building on. And so yeah, it's you want them up there, but that part's not all that big. The big part I feel is like having them there to keep the resources accumulating throughout the rest of the game. But yeah, so I don't know, it's that replayability with this being completely random I think is in itself really good, but it also then makes it difficult to again, like I said, triggers analysis paralysis of stuff going where you just have so many different actions and it's never ever set because it's randomized, and just determining where you're going to place your meeple and go from there and everything. So but yeah, replayability is really high on this game, and so yeah, personally I really enjoyed this game. I think everybody really enjoyed it. Like I said, we played it 2 times, and I just feel like there's a lot going on, but it's not overly difficult beyond the choice making. So I guess when we played, I wasn't really sure. I think, like I said, we played twice. Each time I want to say players were 20 points apart from each other, and they were fairly close, although that meant there was a 40-point spread from first and last. But yeah, and I was trying to determine, because when games come like this, I always wonder, like, when there's so much going on, is there anything going on that, or is there like any strategy? Like, how do they balance it? How do they do all this stuff? And so since we had 2 games that were fairly similar, it might be more balanced than I thought. I guess I would say that the gaining favor, because this is how you score points. One of the ways, I guess, that you score points, but a major one each turn, after each year. So I thought maybe getting your meeples in there so you can lock down, because this is determining like how many scrolls you get a point for, how many spices you get a point for, and so on and so forth. I can't remember what this is, where you are on the track on certain things and how many goods you have. So there's just various ways of scoring. You get points as you go up each track as well. So there's just a lot of ways and paths to score victory points. And so that, I don't know, I like that a lot, but I also kind of worried, like, is it balanced, or has somebody come up with a strategy that's like really more prominent? And we haven't ever got there. I've never looked anything up, so I don't really know if that's the case. But yeah, I don't know. I really like it. I like the resource gathering. I like the resource gathering you do within a city and all the different tracks to get you different bonuses. And I feel that it's not a beginner's like casual gamers game by any means. It's definitely like a midweight game. So, but if you're more familiar with those or interested in checking one out, I would definitely check out Merv Silk Road. The heart of the Silk Road. It's I don't know. It's a really good game. And I probably should have clicked this over, but it's kind of showing whatever. I'm probably better look at that than this, but whatever. So, but yeah, so that's Merv from Osprey Games. Those are my first impressions of it. And yeah, if you played the game, what were your impressions of it? Did you have any strategies that you like going through and fulfilling, and maybe have an edge over any others that you've experienced, or is there any reason that you didn't like it? And about the theme, did you like the theme? Again, I thought it was very thematic. So, but yeah, thanks for stopping by, checking out the video. And again, let me know in the comments below what you think of the game, if you have happened to played it. And yeah, until next time, take care.